So, after years of debate, it is official. It pains me to say this, but ladies, apparently, you are better drivers than men.
Yeah, happy birthday to me.
Even little Sharon's bouncing around behind the camera
our
there.
Is beside us.
The girls in makeup.
You know it's true, Sharon. And now a new study agrees. It's found that women are better behind the wheel after comfortably, not even a struggle, beating men in a series of driving tests.
Unbearable, Jo. Unbearable.
She's on our side. Don't look at her for comfort. When it came to driving too close, men are so bad at that. 27% of men were guilty compared to just 4% of women. More than half of men drove through an amber light compared to less than a quarter of women. And 79% of women used their mirrors correctly, but only around 46% of men did. 100%
of women carried on banging on about it when the men had given up listening years ago.
Katie Rickett has been out with a female cabbie to see whether she agrees with the study.
Oh, I doubt it.
Yes, it's official. As we always suspected, we are the better drivers. And just to remove any seed of doubt, I went out with Emma Nair, a female cabbie, to see what she experiences on a daily basis.
If you put your indicator on, I would actually know where you're going. Look, straight through the red light. Sitting in the near side lane is really annoying. Taxis, people don't like letting you in. Thanks, mate. You really didn't need to pull out on me like that. Typical bloke. The worst thing I find about male drivers is just their impatience. I've actually got somebody right at my backside at the moment. If you want to get in the boot, just ask. They have to always be in front of you, be faster than you, and get there before you. We've known all along women are definitely better than men, and this just proves it.
Well, joining us now is psychologist Jo Hemmings.
It's science. You can't argue with science.
There's lots of arguments when it comes to science. So, look, what does this tell us then, Jo, realistically, the psychological point of view between men and women in this survey?
Well, of course, the survey said that women were better drivers. And I think that's a definition of better, actually. I think, you know, we're safer drivers, whereas men are definitely less risk-averse. They're more reward-driven. They've got more testosterone, which makes them sort of tend to go faster, be a bit sort of more aggressive and focused on the road. And that makes them less safe, which does, in fact, make women ultimately the better driver.
So they will be better racing drivers?
They would be better racing
or
drivers.
rally drivers.
Because we haven't seen any women racing Formula One. There's a couple of test drivers, isn't there?
There's one. It's Susie Wolff.
Test driving, but she's not actually racing, is she, in Formula One?
Very few. But then I think there will be ultimately, once women... they're very late to the party, aren't they, as far as Formula One's concerned? So it could happen. It's not that we can't overcome that and drive fast. It's just we choose to drive safely.
So, you know, the argument I think that most men would have is that actually when we're approaching a roundabout or approaching a junction or in any situation, we actually know what we're going to do. So we are more focused and more deliberate and we will do it. Whereas women, as you say, they maybe take a bit more time. They're more dithery. So they tend not to make their decisions.
Or dithery, yes. But in fact, we end up with lower insurance premiums because we have less accidents. So perhaps our ditheriness actually serves us well.
We say be cautious.
It's funny you should say that, yeah, because Kate always says to me she doesn't have many accidents.
Never had an accident.
There seems to be a lot of accidents round you, though, doesn't
In my
there?
rearview mirror, I often spot the occasional conundrum. Yeah.
Completely unrelated to your driving.
Yeah, related to me.
This is absolutely true, by the way. Intriguingly, what is the key difference then, and how is it that because I think most men would consider themselves to be better drivers. You know, it just that's randomly how it's sort of not randomly. I think it's just how it's always been perceived in the past. So this is going to be quite a shock to understand in all of these factors. But the one factor they didn't bring into it, Jo, was parking.
Yeah, so parking, men are definitely generally better at parking. That's because their sort of left-hand side of their brain, their spatial awareness side is stronger. So it's a very focused task. And mathematically, they kind of work it out. It's more logical to actually park, particularly in a tight space. Women don't come out as well as on parking.
But that's not a safety issue, is it? I think that's one of the things about this study, that where you say women are ditherers, actually we would say we're assessing the situation.
Indeed.
Men are more definite, they know what they're doing, but they don't necessarily indicate or check, because they think we know what we're doing, but others around them
So you should understand... OK, so we assume
assume
that you would be a good enough driver
yeah.
to understand what I'm going to do, because I'm in the right-hand lane, so I must be turning right.
And I think that's where road rage comes from. People who men expect other men, other drivers to all be driving like them. So they get annoyed when somebody doesn't do that get from A to B, sneaky round, sort of, I'll do that. They're thinking too long. They don't like that, and that sort of annoys them.
I did tweet this morning to say it's official, women are better drivers than men. How am I going to cope with Kate Garraway? And I got a tweet from Rav who says, well, it depends what they're driving. If it's driving us up the wall, then they're definitely better. That's what Rav said. I didn't say that. That was tweeted to me this morning. I just thought I should share that with the nation.
I was speaking to you later, Rav.
You will be as well, 'cause it'll be in the office. Thank you very much, Jo. We'd love to know what you think about